Hello everyone, this is Mary from Athena's Bibliotheca. It's been a minute, as I feel like I have to say all the time, but it's fine. If you've seen any other videos, this is a different setup than I normally have in my background, and that's because I'm living in Florida for the moment because I got a job at Disney World, which is really cool that I could say that, but it was only for a certain amount of time, so you might only see this background for a couple more videos, or like this area for a couple more videos, if I make those videos that I'm planning in my head. Also, the apartment place I'm living at is doing yard work. It's pretty loud for me. Hopefully my phone is not picking it up too much. I'm sorry if that's annoying. I will try to edit it out. I'm not the best editor, but I will try. Also, sorry for the glare of my glasses. I can't do anything about that one. So now that we've rambled for a bit about stuff that's not pertinent to this video, but I felt the need to say, I wanted to come back with a video talking about all the books I've read so far this year. Unless you follow me on Storygraph and really pay attention, you don't know what I've been reading. So I decided that I wanted to come back with a video of all the books I've read in 2025. And I didn't want to just list them out, so I actually ordered them, and I'm going to start from the book I liked the least to my favorite book so far I've read this year. The yard work is very annoying for me personally, so hopefully it's not so annoying for you. I have read 17 books so far, but when I order them, I'm going to start at number 11 because I grouped series together, specifically since I read them so close together that I have a hard time differentiating between the books that are in them. I have 3 series that I have in this list, and we'll talk about them when we get to them. So, number 11, which is my lowest rated book so far in my head, is A Magical Girl Retires by Park Si-yeon. Look at this cover. It's beautiful. Did I buy it just because of the cover and the title? Yes, I did. Should I have actually looked into what it's about and not assumed what it was about? Yes, I should. This book, definitely trigger warnings for suicidal thoughts and attempted suicide. They have a lot of talk about debt as well in this book. I thought for sure, just looking at this cover, that this was going to be my cup of tea. I was going to love it. It's going to be great. It's also like a very short book, so there's also that. But I did not like it that much. I thought the concept was really interesting, and I liked the characters well enough, but the whole story, I felt very disconnected from it. I think it's the way that it's told. As I was talking about, there is suicidal thoughts in the story, and that comes right from the get-go. First page, that's what it's talking about. With that tone throughout the whole story, it just felt very disconnected, which I guess is kind of the point. When you're not feeling the best, when you're depressed and all that, you don't feel connected anyway, or at least in my experience. When I'm not feeling great, I don't feel all there. So they got the whole feelings down, but I just felt too disconnected to the story to enjoy myself when I was reading. Well, enjoy, you know what I mean when I say enjoy, when you're talking about suicidal thoughts and stuff. I didn't quite enjoy myself with it. This is also a weird one where I'm like, I may not have enjoyed it myself, but I really want other people to enjoy it for some reason. Maybe it's because I just love the cover so much. It's beautiful, and I may still keep it on my shelves even though I didn't like it, because the cover is gorgeous and I just want to display it because it's so pretty. Number 10 on my list is the Shifting Fate series by Tessa Hale. This is a 3-book series and 1 prequel. And there's another series coming up that got me to binge quite a bit of Tessa Hale's stories. I mean, I read 7 of them, so one other series besides this one, and I really want to read the rest of her books because they're just so bingeable. And while yes, this is second to last on my list, I still had fun while I was reading it. It was It's a very quick read. Like, even if you're not liking the story, you still want to continue to read. Like, I don't know what it is, what she puts in the pages, but like, it's great stuff. Shifting Fate series. Her books are all, from what I can tell, I guess. I haven't read all of her books, but I'm pretty sure all of them are one girl, multiple men. I think she always has like 5 men in one girl. Again, haven't read all of them, so like, I don't know, but she always has one girl and multiple men. And it's just a fun time. It's a fun, goofy time. And if you want something quick, easy to read, don't expect a lot from it, but you'll have fun while you're reading it, is what I'm getting at. They basically are very much, they give me staying up late reading Wattpad back in 2012. That's what it gives me. And if that intrigues you, then pick up her books. Number 9 is Broken Perfect Lies by Katie Wismer. And this one is pitched as a Hannah Montana bodyguard romance. And I definitely see that. Basically, I can't remember the characters' names, but the main female protagonist is the Hannah Montana character. And something happens that exposes her as 2 different people. Like, she has her life off camera where she's not a singer, and then she has her singing life like Hannah Montana, and that gets her in a lot of trouble with people, and so they need a bodyguard, and then romance ensues from there. I really enjoyed this up to a point. I really liked the romance. I thought it was adorable up until the 3rd act conflict, which is always what it is with me in romances. Once I get to the 3rd act conflict, it always makes or breaks a story for me, especially when it's really close to the end. Like, I'm like, are you serious? You're gonna make this the conflict, and then you're going to wrap it all up in a pretty bow in like 30 pages? I doubt it. The conflict itself, without going into spoilers, I understood it, but at the same time, there was other ways of going about the situation that ends up happening that did not need to go that way, if that makes sense. And it made me upset, and like, it dropped down my rating of the book. So now it is in 9th place of all the books I've read. So there's that. The 8th place is A Rebel Without Claws by Juliet Cross. And if you've watched my previous videos, you know that I really enjoyed Juliet Cross's Stay a Spell series. Like, I loved it so much. And this is a spin-off of that series following the couples in Stay a Spell series kids. Okay, so I wanted more Stay a Spell world, so I was excited, but also like when they do a spin-off of a couple's kids in another series, it's always like, because they always tend to, the characters from previous books ends up feeling weird to me, but that might just be because we're following it from the kids' perspective. I don't know, there's something about this one that while I enjoyed it well enough, I think I enjoyed it specifically because it was in the Stay a Spell series, not because of the story that was being told, if that makes sense. I enjoyed every bit and piece that we got of Evie and Matteo and Elpha. Any piece we got of them, I was like eating it up. I don't know if I particularly liked the actual main characters of the story, so there's that. Then number 7 on my list is Legends and Lattes by Travis Beldray, and this was such a cute story. I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would because the story is kind of boring. I don't want to say boring because I did enjoy myself, but also at the same time, like, nothing happens. When they say it's cozy without any of the like stakes, that is exactly what it is. There's like nothing that actually is going on. There's like hints of something that's gonna happen, like action in some way, but it never actually gets that far. I enjoyed seeing like the fruition of Viv's dreams, and that was cute. It was adorable, but I don't know. I feel like the longer I sit on it, the more I like it, but maybe that's just like me feeling like I should like it because it's so popular, which is something that I struggle with determining if that's how I'm feeling or not. Because I do that a lot. Like, I'm like, okay, but I might not have liked it, but so many people like it, so something must be wrong with me. It's a me problem. It's fine, but we'll see. I still enjoyed it. I don't know if I want to read any of the other stories. Maybe if you've read any of the other books with Legends and Lattes, let me know if I should pick those up. I will say though that my copy of the book had an extra short chapter and I didn't feel like reading it, so like if that tells you anything. I usually read everything. I'm like, no, I don't really want to read this. I like skimmed it and I was like, no, I'm good. Number 6 is the next Tessa Hale series that I read, and that is Dragons of Ember Hollow. I can't remember her name, but I'll put it on the screen. She is a YouTuber and she talked a lot about this series and how much she liked it, and it convinced me to give it a try, and I'm so glad I did. I had such a fun time. Again, it's very reading Wattpad late at night in 2012, but I couldn't stop myself from turning pages. I wanted to know what was going to happen. If you don't know, this is once again a one girl, multiple men story. The men are dragon shifters. You open up the story with her becoming an orphan and things ensue. Like, you figure out why she's an orphan and all that jazz. It's a great time. Loved it so much. This is like I loved it, I didn't say it was good sort of story. I said I liked it, I didn't say it was good. That's how this story is. Would I recommend it if you are in a reading slump and really badly want to get out of it? Yes, I would. If you at all feel like you could handle that type of story, I guess. Dragon Shifters sounds cool to me, so I picked it up. Number 5 is Race to the Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. I actually just finished this one, the last book I read. It is part of the Riordan Presents line, where people of different backgrounds and ethnicities make stories based on their mythology, the mythology of the people that they come from. Sure, we're going to go with that. You know what I mean. So like, if you have Navajo background, then you will be an author to make a story based on Navajo mythology. And that's what the story is. It's actually really interesting. The premise is there's the main girl character, her brother, and their dad gets kidnapped, and they're trying to get to the sun god in this case, and save their dad. Also, the main girl character's best friend goes with them as well, and they go on a little adventure. Everything you would expect from a Riordan Presents line. Like, if you know Percy Jackson, that's kind of the gist you're getting when you get into Riordan Presents line of books. Very fun, loved it. It was a great time, fast read. It was really interesting learning some of the mythology of the Navajo. Really makes me want to look into it a little bit more because it sounds interesting, which I say every time I read one of these books, and I never end up doing it, but maybe one day I'll actually do it. The 4th book I read was Spellbound by F.T. Lukens. This is a story about a person who cannot do magic and ends up becoming an assistant to someone that does magic, and he ends up meeting the person he's assisting's rival and the rival's assistant, and the two assistants end up falling in love, and it's adorable, great, highly recommend, so fun. I know that the last book I read by F.T. Lukens, So This Is Ever After, was very heavy on the miscommunication, which I didn't personally like, but I could overlook because of how much I love So This Is Ever After. I was like, guys, I'm warning you now that this book is the miscommunication trope, but I didn't care because I love the characters so much. This is not that. So fun. They have such cute, adorable banter. They're like trying to figure out if they're even friends or not. It's adorable. Like, it's light enemies to lovers. They're like they're not enemies, but they're like rivals to lovers, maybe. Yeah, let's go with that. Except the one who can't do magic. I am horrible at names, okay, as you can tell. Like, I don't remember names ever. The character who can't do magic is all, I want to be their friend or whatever. The other assistant's like, leave me alone. They're like the gloom and doom cape character, and the guy who can't do magic is, yay, happy, I'm so excited to learn magic any little bit I can. And it produces quite a bit of banter, and I love it. The next on my list is actually a reread. I reread Monstrous Volume 1 and 2. I wanted to reread them because I got volumes 4 through 7. So I wanted to reread 1 through 3 so that I could remember what was going on in them when I read 4 through 7, because it's a lot of there's a lot of complicated stuff going on, and I don't always remember stuff that I should, so I wanted to reread them. Plus, they're not that hard to reread. It takes like an hour, maybe a little bit longer, and they were fun just as much as they were the first time. I mean, Monstrous is like a horror, dark fantasy type book or graphic novel, so like it can only be so fun. But I enjoyed my reread of it. I just gotta reread Volume 3 so I can get to the rest of them that I haven't ever read before. Hopefully that'll happen soon. As you can tell by like me only reading 17 books, which is great. It's just not the normal speed that I read. So I'm like slowly getting out of this slump. I'm like crawling back slowly. Third place, which means there's two books that I liked more than Monstrous, which, you know, Monstrous is so good. Highly recommend it. There's quite a bit of gore in it though, like maybe check trigger warnings and stuff, because I don't know all of what's in it, but just in case, put that out there. Love the story. Look it up if you're interested. Highly recommend. Second is Fireborn by Rosario Monda. I picked this up on a whim. It is so good. I love it so much. Let me tell you what it's about. It's a dragon story. Hopefully you could tell by the cover that it's a dragon story, but it's like post-revolution. So they already took down the previous government, and I think it's been 10 or 12 years since that revolution where they took out the previous government. You're following two people. One is a girl who, I can't remember her name. I'm telling you, I'm bad with names. The main girl is Annie. It's Annie. First, you follow Annie, who was very low in the previous government, as in, like, she was very poor, didn't have much money, even she was starving majority of the time because of the way the government was run. Her family dies before the revolution was completed. She ends up in the orphanage after the revolution. The second person you follow is Lee, who was actually the son of the king in the previous regiment government system. He ends up at the orphanage with Annie, and they end up becoming best friends, and you follow them in dragon riding school, basically, as they come to terms with how bad the previous government is and whether or not this government that they are living in now is any better. And it's really good. I feel like I'm not selling it by what I am explaining, but just letting you know that this is fantastic, amazing, love it, would recommend. I was gonna say earlier before I was like, man, I should probably tell you what it's about first. I was only like 50 pages into it, and I bought the next 2 books in the series. It's only a trilogy, so you'd only have to read 3 books to read the whole thing, but I do have the next 2 books. Haven't read them yet? No, but they're next up on my reading agenda. Then finally, my best book I've read so far this year, which is actually a surprise because it's a horror. It's described as a sapphic cozy horror, and I think that sums it up really well. And it's called Someone You Can Build a Nest In by John Wiswell. I love this story so much, unexpectedly so. Like, I thought I would like it, but I didn't think I would love it. this much. Like, it was so good. I had such a fun time with this. Is there a bunch of gross stuff that happens in this book? Yes, there is. Specifically, Shasheshan, who's the main character. Hard to say her name. Recommend the audiobook. I know that I'm not normally an audiobook person, but it happened to be available now on my Libby app, and I was like, okay. So I have the physical copy, and I can only listen to audiobooks if I have the physical copy with me, or my mind wanders and I don't pay attention. With the audiobook, you'll actually know how to say her name. Shasheshan is the main character, and she is a monster. And it's really interesting hearing her comments about how humans interact with others. And she's like, all the time she's like, and I'm the monster. You kill your food and then you wear their hide on your back. I don't do that. And I'm just like, yeah, you're right. So funny. I love her so much. What I've like gathered, like, this is how I pictured it. She's like a bunch of goop. That's what I'm going to describe it as. In my head, that's what I was picturing. But she is able to like shift herself to look human, and she does this throughout the book. But to become human, she has to find, like, she doesn't have any structure of her own, like skeleton. She doesn't have a skeleton of her own. So she absorbs things, usually bones, into her body to construct her own skeleton. But like in the beginning, she doesn't have that much stuff. So she like has a bear trap or whatever in her chest, like that. Like whatever floats your boat, really. Shasheshan. Love that for you. She is also a man-eater. She eats humans. So like there's a lot of body horror, her talking about eating humans and her like absorbing the different bones, cartilage, all that stuff, organs, to make her body run like a human so that she can hear and see and all that stuff. It's really fun. It's really interesting. It's weird to call it fun when she's murdering people, but that's just what you gotta do when you're reading a horror book. It's so good. I love it so much. And also when she meets Hamoi, who is her girl, it's beautiful. I love it so much. I want to say more. I don't want to go into spoiler territory, so I won't. But just know that I'm so glad that I picked this up. Loved it so much. Definitely want to pick up John Liswell's next book. Or it's the book that just came out by him, called Wearing the Lion. I think it's called Wearing the Lion, which is like a Hercules type tale, which, you know, you already have me at Greek mythology. Super excited about it. And after reading Someone You Can Build a Nest In, I really want to read it even more. But those are all the books that I've read so far this year. Some that I'm disappointed in, but like I didn't hate them. And then some that are like all-time new favorites. I love that for me. Hopefully I can be better about making videos, and that you'll see me again soon, and not however long it's been since the last video I posted. I think it was like 11 months or something. I have plans, like I have quite a bit of plans on videos that I want to make. So hopefully you see them, and hopefully I actually make them, because I really like making videos and I like talking about books. We're hoping that I stay committed and I continue to post videos. I have this really cool series that I'm super excited about getting together. It's gonna take a long time to finish if I stay with the schedule that I have planned for it. We'll see if that ever comes to light, and if not, you're gonna wonder what it is for the rest of your life, because I won't have posted. But we'll see. I bought the books for it already, so I have to do at least the first episode. That's all the books that I've read. Hopefully you enjoyed me talking about these books, and if you want a little bit more information, always leave a comment and I will get back to it. I'll be like, yes, I will talk about more about Someone You Can Build a Nest In. I would love to talk to you about it. Also Fireborn. I mean, obviously the top three are the top three because I love them a lot. So I would always like to talk about my favorite books. So there's that. Or if you don't want to talk about the books that I've talked about, let me know what your favorite book you've read so far this year is. I would love to know. because I totally need to have more books added to my TBR. Like, I need a hole in my head. But that's neither here nor there. I hope to see you soon. But again, as always, I make no promises. Bye.